Alaikum, very good evening, viewers. You are watching Voice of Toronto Television with me, Anjum Malik, and we are doing this special election transmission. As you know, we started this a couple of weeks ago. We've been having a lot of candidates who are joining us, who have been the mayors or who have been councillors, regional councillors. They're rerunning for the elections. This year is going to happen in October. Voice of Toronto Television, you're watching it live on IP channels, Facebook, YouTube, and during the show, if you would like to connect with us, please feel free to give us a call on our studio line, which is 519-923-5220. And as I mentioned, that this is a special transmission regarding election, and that is the municipal election that is happening in October of this year. So if you, depending which riding you are, which area you live, so we are the voice for the city, and we are reaching out to all the candidates in the city from the east to the west. And tonight I'm very humbled to have our dear friend who have been serving mayor for the last so many years in Pickering, Mayor Kevin Ash. He has been to our studios in the past, and I requested him to join me again tonight on this special broadcast. So let me see if he's there, and we will talk to him. And so good evening, Kevin Ash, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Good evening. Welcome to you.
Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. Thank you, Mayor Kevin. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. There's lots happening in our city, and I'm looking forward to having an exchange of ideas with your viewers tonight, and
100%.
over the coming over the coming months with the residents of Pickering.
I look forward to that, and also we are providing this opportunity. As you do know, you've been to our Voice of Toronto Television studios in the past, the last elections, and we've been, it's been a while since we have spoken to each other. But I'm going to take this opportunity tonight to discuss a lot of things that you have been doing in the Pickering since you became a mayor, and there's a lot of things that brought up to my attention from the community, from the South Asian community, the people of Pickering in the area, some of those things that are very close to their hearts, and they wanted me during this conversation with you, if I could request you to highlight your journey in the last 4 years. Where have you been so far? How the city has been evolved into the infrastructure, into the projects, what is something new into the pipeline, and what do you think in the past 4 years, what you did accomplish, and what is forthcoming for you if you've been selected again to run for the city of Pickering, and you're going to be able to finish all those projects and make things different, the life become different for the people of Pickering who lives there in your riding. So let's start with that first of all. How it has been in the last 4 years, Mr. Ash?
Well, thank you for that question. Last week, I welcomed Premier Ford back to the city, where he gave us our Building Faster Fund monies for the third consecutive year, one of the only few of municipalities that have reached their housing target for 3 years consecutively.
The accelerator fund we're talking about, correct?
It's the Building Faster Fund, which is a provincial initiative. The accelerator fund is a federal fund. Yeah, it is a federal fund. This was the provincial fund. So we've had success in terms of, in a very, very weak housing market, being able to achieve our housing goals. But my chief role and chief commitment when I ran for mayorship last time was to be the jobs mayor, because I knew I'd be successful in building the houses. But I want people not only to live here, but to work here. And we're having some success in terms of those new jobs along our 407 corridor. And equally as important was the provincial government's announcement of the refurb of the nuclear station at Pickering, $29 billion investment, one of the largest infrastructure projects, not only in Durham, not only in Ontario, not only in Canada, not only in North America, one of the largest infrastructure projects in the whole world. That'll generate about 5,000 jobs to the site each and every day, and about 13,000 jobs down the supply chain. So chief goal was building more homes faster and also getting more jobs, and we're successful there.
Kevin, I wanted to ask you, now I'm going to come back to you regarding this project that you just mentioned, which is an amazing opportunity for the people in Ontario. As you just mentioned, that is going to create 5,000 jobs, which is very much needed in our province because people are out of jobs. But at the same time, you talked a little touch about the housing projects. Are you, as a mayor, been able to secure some lands over the last 4 years, an acquisition where you can introduce a subsidized housing, people who can't afford to have housing? What do you think about that? And how successful you have been?
Yeah, well, the housing and social housing file is not done in Durham at the city level. It's done at the regional level as opposed to Toronto, which is a single tier. But that doesn't mean we don't have a job to do. I'm being part of a group called the Ground Up, and that's a group of mayors who have committed to finding some municipal lands over the course of the next couple of years to build affordable homes on land that is free. And I've identified a fire hall which is going to be decommissioned and moved down the street a couple hundred meters to be that place where we can have housing at an affordable rate. Also, when we are looking at the condo developments that are happening, again, stalled in most of the province, but in Pickering we did the groundbreaking of 2 of them at our city center last October. And we have another one called Viewpoint by Tribute Homes. And in that tower, there'll be 27 units owned by Habitat for Humanity. Again, affordability for people who probably have lost the dream of home ownership, but will have it realized through this initiative in partnership with Tribute Homes as well as Habitat for Humanity. And we're repeating that to a smaller degree, but it's always important to have some component of affordability in regards to all new developments, mostly in the condo market, but certainly at the low-rise market too.
Okay. Let's talk about, first of all, for people to understand, the Pickering. What is the population of Pickering right now? Because a lot of people on the west side, sometimes they do travel, but they may not know that what is the size of according to the census, the last census was done. What's the population there right now?
Well, when you come into Pickering, you see a sign as you cross the Rouge River, and it says "Welcome to Durham," and then it says "Welcome to Pickering," and it says 100,000. In actual fact, Pickering has about 118,000 people, and the region of Durham is over 800,000 now. And it's an interesting statistic that between 20 and 25 families move into Pickering each and every week. That's not a month, that's not a year. 20 to 25 families are moving into Pickering each and every week. And with that becomes the responsibilities for us to make sure that there's services and retailers, because each one of those families needs a place to shop, they need a doctor, they need a dry cleaner, they need a place to entertain with their friends and family, but they also need a place to go to the library. They need a place for the kids to play in the park, and they need a spot at school. So we have to manage the renewal of our infrastructure as we continue to grow. And in Pickering, right now, 118,000 people.
So it still has. So it's called Town of Pickering. It still has the.
No.
No, it's called a City of Pickering.
We're now the City of Pickering.
Oh.
We changed the City of Pickering on January 1st, 2000, which was the millennium. So we celebrated our 25th anniversary as a city last year.
Okay.
And we went from a township to a town in 1974 when we became part of regional government. And your viewers might find it interesting that I'm the 5th mayor of the City of Pickering, but my dad was the first mayor in 1974.
Interesting. Now, let's talk importantly, first of all, you're rerunning for the mayorship, correct?
That's correct. I filed my papers for re-election on last Friday, and I think we've accomplished a lot in the first term, but there's much to do, and I think it's important that we have experienced, principled leadership that people can trust.
What is the size of your caucus, Mayor Kevin, if I ask? How many how many councillors, how many regional councillors?
We have a council of 7, so we have 3 wards in our city, and in each ward we elect a city councillor and a regional councillor, and the regional councillor sits on both the city and the region. So we have 6 councillors plus the mayor, so it's a council of 7 people.
Okay. And for our audience I'm just going to go back on my camera. I'm going to let everybody know that you are watching special election transmission on Voice of Toronto television with me, Anjum Malik. And I have our dear friend from Pickering today, incumbent our mayor, Kevin Ash. He's rerunning for the mayorship again in October election. Now, a lot of people have this misunderstanding that who can vote and who cannot vote in the elections and municipal elections. Can you kind of substantiate that for the viewers?
Sure. The rules are the same. You have to be a Canadian citizen. You have to either own a property or rent a property in the city, and you have to be 18 years or over, and you have to make an effort to get on the voters list. When we file our taxes, there's a question asked about Elections Canada and Elections Ontario, and that information is shared with the city clerk. But there is an opportunity, if people are not on the voters list, to view it at pickering.ca and then add their name to the voters list. This year in Pickering, we'll be doing internet voting for a period of 7 days. And then on the final day, which is October 26th, Monday, you'll also be able to do a paper ballot at a number of different places to place your ballot. So you'll have 7 full days to do it on the internet. You'll have a PIN. It takes a very short period of time. And I'm hopeful, since last election to this election, we've had COVID. And I think we have people more comfortable with technology now. And I'm hoping this technology will encourage more people to vote, because traditionally, in Durham and in other places across our province, we're having about 30% turnout for municipal, about 50% for the province, and about 60 to 65% when we have a federal election. And some could argue, and many do, the most important vote you have is the one that's closest to you, and that's your vote for your mayor and your councillors, because it's those taxes, your property taxes, and the services that hit close to home. It's the roads we have, the parks we play in, the libraries we read the books in, the swimming pools, the soccer pitches, the garbage pickup. All those things are done at the local level of government, the government that's closest to the people. So I encourage people to get engaged. I encourage people that are interested in the political system to take the courage and put your name forward. I think I'd love it that we'd have many choices for people to have. I'm currently the only one running for mayor, but I expect there to be other candidates, and I welcome the comparison of values. I welcome the comparisons of our records, and most importantly, I urge people to compare the plans for the future.
One important question: if somebody have recently moved to Pickering from the west to east, and they are, let's say, not on the voters list, what verification document they need to bring to them with them at the day of the election when the voting happens, or on the advanced voting polls when they open up? What documents they need to bring?
Again, most of our voting, about 80% of it, will be done in advance on the internet. And there is a process to be added to the voters list. Again, I invite people to go onto pickering.ca/vote so they can find out the process to get on the ballot. But typically, a tax bill, your driver's license, and an attestation that you're a Canadian citizen is sufficient enough to be added to the voters list if you're waiting to the last day.
Okay. So if you're bringing your Canadian passport is good enough, you don't need anything else.
Well, you do. If you're not on the voters list, you do need proof of residency.
Residence.
So that would be your tax bill, a utility bill, or your driver's license. Yeah.
Good enough. It's good for people to understand that. Now, let me go into a little bit more details. So, in the past 4 years, as you can see in GTA, the crime has gone to the roofs in all capacities. Tell our viewers a little bit about, since you took over the last time and now, how secure is Pickering, number one? What have been done for the parkings, overnight parkings, or you bylaws, and what are in place, and how the car theft, the carjacking, and have been minimized, and what have you done as a caucus to protect the Canadians, especially living in your riding?
Sure. Well, I happened to be at regional headquarters today, and as I was getting in my car, the chief of police happened to be parking his car. So I had a conversation about this very issue because he said he had just left a meeting of other chiefs, and a lot of them were talking about the increase in crime. And I can certainly attest to people's feelings that there is a issue of diminished sense of personal safety. And it's not necessarily, the gun crimes and the serious crimes. It's the small things that bother people, and it's the small things that diminish their safety. It might be a break-in at a car. It might be graffiti tagging in our public places. It could be loitering. It could be small stuff. So we have to work together to aid to beautify our cities, but also to safeguard them. So we do have a community safety coordinator on staff, and they work with Durham Regional Police as well as our other partners. One of the things we do have in Pickering is called Eyes on the Street. So we ask our residents to report illegal dumping. We ask them to report through our Road Watch program, speeding cars. You've got get the license plate, and the police will send a letter and then do a visit. So it's these minor things that we have to do collectively to reduce crime and reduce the smaller things. And again, a lot of our residents often come from Toronto or Scarborough, and they say to me, Pickering's becoming too much like Scarborough, and that's not to diminish Scarborough. I have many friends there, and good work colleagues that sit on council, and great MPs as well from Scarborough. So there is a sense that it is there. I think we have to be vigilant in terms of properly resourcing our police, which we've done over the last couple of years. Perhaps there was an absence of commitment in earlier years. That's not the case this year. I think they hired over 100 new officers. 2027 is a similar plan. So it's real, and it's the speeding card, or feeling safe in your park. So there's a couple of things. The other we're also doing is when we're looking at building parks or building new developments, we ask the police, where should we put the lights? How can we safeguard it for people to be safe? And they'll say, put all the activity closer to the road. Don't give places for people to hide in the back. Things like that, which are common sense, but if they get underlined, it comes to the front of mind when we're doing these types of things.
Mayor Ash, I floated an idea to the Chief of Police, and I'm sharing this with you. And I think once you listen to it, maybe you can speak to your caucus and maybe you can implement this. I have put in an idea to put in a citizen police liaison committee that could be like you just said, could be the eyes, and it's a neighbor watch programs that could really eliminate a lot of those small crimes that happen in the cities, that could work with, the city. They can work with the police department as a committee and submit reports on regular basis, have a telephone line, just like a tips line also. Maybe something like that, I thought maybe I'll share that with you. Maybe you can take it back.
No, I think that's an excellent idea, because when police talk to me, they talk about all the investigative tools and crime-solving tools they need. But the reality is we also need community policing. We need cops that are out there on patrol. We need cops on bikes. We need cops in our downtown. We need cops in our schools as well, because we have to make young people as well as young adults that are students feel comfortable, because our city, as Toronto and all GTA, is a very diverse community, and that diversity, I think, strengthens our community. But there are many new Canadians that don't have a great feeling about policing based on their experience where they came from, rather than what they have here. And we have to build a bridge between our police community as well as our new residents and our new Canadians, so that they understand that the police are good guys, because by and large, they are great guys. And when I say guys, I mean men and women who are serving us with honor, distinction, and indeed courage. So I think it's an excellent idea. I think getting community input, having the community as partners, is a way to deal with things in an adult, very 2000 point of view. We're looking at video cameras and all that kind of stuff. Let's use technology. Let's use common sense. Let's use those partnerships to make our streets and our communities safer.
Mayor Ash, if I ask you this, the last 4 years and now, and you're looking into, the future and another 4 years to serve once you get reelected, what are some of the things that you think you were not able to accomplish in the past 4 years, and you have them on your agenda now as your, hard, I would say, manifesto that you want to finish it off? And we don't know what the legacy is going to be for yourself. You're going to keep on running for the mayors in the years to come. But if this is what you want to do, and this is how people love you to be the mayor for them, how are you going to be executing all those?
Well, one thing, a couple things. One, our Frenchman's Bay is owned by a private company. And we are in very active consideration and discussions to purchase back Frenchman's Bay. I've got the federal government hopefully going to partner with us. The provincial government has confirmed they are in. The city has confirmed to be in. So a legacy for not just Kevin Ash, but the council and our community would be to have our public space at our waterfront in public ownership. I think that would be a crowning achievement that would protect our waterfront for generations to come. Second thing I'd like to do during the course of the next 4 years is make transit an option for people. We got to get people out of the cars. We got to make transit work for people. And we've broken ground for a rapid bus lane along Kingston Road connecting to Scarborough. A lot of our people use our transit system just to go to the university or go to the GO train. We have to make it more efficient, more robust, so it's a real alternative to the car. We're seeing our developments in our densification in our city center, where people are buying less than a half of a parking spot. They're getting on the GO train, they're getting on a bus, and we have to make more of that. And we have to, as we grow as a community, continue to reinvest in infrastructure that's aging. We have plans now for a brand new rec complex in Seaton. We just opened. or will officially open next week, the Dorsey Community Center in Greenwood. And we have to do that, continue to renew, pools that are end of life, gyms that are end of life, parks that are under life. And we have to do it in a way that's fiscally responsible and prudent, but we have to build.
Okay. I was speaking with the council in Orangeville, and I was told that the public transport for seniors, but there's no fee that they charge. Is this something in the pipeline that you want to extend that to the seniors of your constituency as well in Pickering?
Well, again, transit is done at the regional level. It's Durham Region Transit.
Okay.
And there is a reduced fare for seniors. And it's also important to acknowledge one thing the provincial government did over the course of the last couple of years was the one fare. So that if you get on a transit bus in Durham, you scratch your card. You get to the GO train, you tap your card. You get off at Union Station, you tap your card. You get on the subway and you tap your card. There's only one fare.
Okay.
So, that potentially can save over $5,000 a year in not having a local transit fare or a subway fare. And if you do that twice a day, it really adds up. So we do have a seniors fare. We don't have free yet, but we do have a seniors fare. The GO train has a seniors fare, and having the one fare is very important. And that question will become much more important to me as I'm 64 years of age. So 65, I'll be able to access some of those savings next year. So.
That's correct. Mayor Kevin, I want to ask you, on a personal note here, how you would measure your success in the past 4 years up to now, and how do you foresee for the future?
Well, I would give myself, if I was giving myself a report card, I'd probably give myself a B. I didn't get everything I wanted, but I achieved a lot of things I wanted to do. And I talked about bringing jobs in, and I talked about building more homes and choice in homes. I also talked about renewing our infrastructure. The affordability issue is real. People are hurting. Gas prices, food prices, taxation. So my argument to that, or my counter to that, is we need more jobs. We need more industry. We need more commercial. When you pay your taxes, for every dollar you pay in residential, if it's a farm, it's only 25 cents. If it's a commercial, it's $1.40. And if it's institutional or industrial, it's over $2. So that mix has to change. We have to take away a reliance in our taxpayers and our residential tax base, and the success will be bringing in more business. And that is why taxes in Toronto are much lower than the Mississaugas, the Vaughns, the Markhams, and the Pickering, is because of all that towers down there and all that business. And Mississauga's done a great job. I know Mayor Del Duca, Mayor Scarpitti are really, we're competing against each other in a friendly way, but we are growing as a community. We have to bring in more jobs. So that'll be my goal. And if I achieve that, I might give myself a B+ next time.
A very other important question regarding the hospitals. How do you foresee where you were before and now? What are some of the changes that has been done over the years to eliminate or reduce the triage times and bring in more doctors to serve at the hospitals?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, because I talked about all these people moving into my community, and Pickering is uniquely situated where people go to Markham Stouffville, they go into Scarborough Health, Scarborough Grace, Scarborough Centenary, they go to Ajax Pickering, which is in Ajax. So a couple of things have happened. One, we've put the Jerry Coughlin Health Center and Wellness Center, state of the art on Brock Road. for outpatients as well as primary care. We've also identified a piece of property in Pickering along the 407 corridor, excuse me, which is going to be donated to the hospital, 24 acres. And the plans with Lakeridge Health is to have a post-acute care rehab facility there. And that will reduce the burden of some of the bed blockers, as we call them. So people that are in the hospital, but really should be in a different level of care, and a rehab is an ideal place for that. The last thing you said about emergency wards, we have done a lot with Lakeridge Health to have triage nurses so that those ambulances can quickly get rid of, when I say get rid of, I mean transfer care from the ambulance to the emergency or to the hospital, and get those ambulances back on the road. Ambulances are paid by the taxpayer, the local taxpayer at the region. Hospitals are obviously paid by the provincial government, and we need people to have a comfortable and a timely turnaround at the hospitals. The other important thing is to make sure that, to the extent possible, people have primary care. So they're not going to the hospital for the sniffles or whatever, that they have access to a family doctor who can deal with those smaller things and get preventative medicine to hopefully starve off a trip to the hospital, the emergency ward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm really humbled for your time tonight, and I will get you back again down the line when we are more closer to the elections. But before you go tonight, I want you to have a statement for our viewers tonight who are watching you on Voice of Toronto Television. What would you like to say to them?
Well, I'm here today as a candidate to be the mayor. So I invite people to follow my campaign at mayorkevinash.ca. But if you have a question about what's happening in the city, I'm still the mayor. We'll continue to be the mayor to at least November 15th.
Right.
So reach out to mayor@pickering.ca, customer care@pickering.ca if you have any concerns or issues with the city. I'm really an open book. If you have concerns, I want to hear from you too. Happy to host you in the office for a coffee or a town hall or something along that line. So I'm delighted by the opportunity you've given me today. I welcome the opportunity to return, perhaps in studio, at some point during the campaign.
Sure.
And I look forward to having a discussion with the residents about the future of the city that I lead, but also the city I love.
Mayor Kevinash, it's a pleasure as always. Thank you so much for taking time and really joining me tonight at the studios of Voice of Toronto TV. I wish you all the very best. And just to let you know, we are your city, your voice. We're just a phone call away. You let us know what to say, what to do. You have a message to pass it on. We're always here to do that for you, sir.
Thank you very much, Nandri.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. व्यूअर्स, ये थे हमारे साथ मेयर केविनाश पिकरिंग से. एग्जिस्टिंग मेयर हैं इस वक्त. पिछले 4 साल से इज़ रनिंग फॉर द री इलेक्शन ऑफ द मेयर इलेक्शन दैट इज़ हैपनिंग ऑन October 26. एंड लाइक ही सेड कि अगर आप उस एरिया में रहते हैं and you want to vote, you can vote it online as well. You need to be a resident of Pickering. You need to be a Canadian citizen. The day of the election, if you go in to vote, then you need to take a utility bill or proof of residence, and this is how you can vote. हमारी कोशिश जारी है. We are continuously doing this election campaigns with candidates and bringing them, a lot of people to you, who they are, what they do, and what do you need to know. और इम्पॉर्टेंटली ये भी है कि आपका फीडबैक बहुत ज़रूरी रहता है प्रोग्राम के हवाले से. उसके लिए voiceoftorontotv@gmail.com हमारा ईमेल एड्रेस है. अगर आप वॉइस ऑफ टोरंटो टेलीविज़न पे एडवर्टाइज़ करना चाहते हैं, आई कैन अश्योर यू वी हैव ग्रेट पैकेजेस फॉर स्मॉल बिजनेसेस एंड वी कुड बी योर वॉइस. आपका किसी भी तरह का बिजनेस है, वी आर हियर टू हेल्प यू टू फ्लरिश, टू एक्सेल इन टू योर बिजनेस. उसके लिए गिव मी अ कॉल ऑफ एयर आफ्टर द प्रोग्राम टू माई सेल, which is 7864881. اس پہ آپ مجھ سے بات کر سکتے ہیں, یا voiceoftorontotv@gmail.com پہ you can send us a message. You are watching us on Facebook, YouTube, IP channels, ہر جگہ ہماری جہاں تک ہماری آواز جاتی ہے, we are here with you and we will be able to help you out as much as possible. I'll see you back guys tomorrow with some more candidates for the election campaign. But during the program it is also important کہ آپ اس پروگرام کا حصہ بنیں اور کال ضرور کریں اسٹوڈیو میں, کوئی بھی کویشچن ہو. اور اس کے لیے ہمارے جو نمبرز ہیں وہ ہمیشہ ہمارے اسکرین پہ رہتے ہیں. اسٹوڈیوز کے لائن کے نمبر 5199235220. اپنا خیال رکھیں. ٹل دین اللہ حافظ, السلام علیکم اینڈ گڈ بائے فار ناؤ. بائے بائے, السلام علیکم.